My name is Alex Dolphin, and welcome back to another episode of Ex Ante. Today we're going to discuss the case Executive Software North America, Inc. versus the United States District Court for the Central District of California. This case was heard in the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals in the year 1994. Let's go ahead and jump into the facts of the case. So to understand this case, you need to understand that there is a case within a case. There is an employment discrimination case. A lady by the last name of Page is suing this software corporation for employment discrimination. In her complaint, she alleges 2 federal causes of action, and she alleges 3 state causes of action. Now, the defendant, the Executive Software, they wanted to remove the case from the state court, which is where she filed the claim, and remove it to the federal court. They wanted to remove the full case to the federal court. Now, the federal court didn't like that. They didn't want to hear the state claims, and they rejected the argument that they should have to hear the state claims and just said, hey, basically, we'll hear your 2 federal claims, but we are going to remand the 3 state claims to the state court. Now, Executive Software wasn't happy with that, and they felt like the law was on their side, so they appealed this jurisdictional ruling to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Their argument was based mainly on the statute that Congress had passed over supplemental jurisdiction. So just briefly, supplemental jurisdiction is the idea that if one claim has basis to get into federal court, then the court can entertain other claims that wouldn't normally have basis in federal court. Now, the statute that is on point for supplemental jurisdiction is 1367. So 1367C, which is what this case is mainly discussing, is the reasons why a state might not exercise supplemental jurisdiction over a claim, right? So the reason why a federal court, might not exercise supplemental jurisdiction over a state claim is in 1367C. Now, the court talks about how this statute was enacted over the backdrop of Gibbs, and that is what the district court used for their reasoning to say that we don't have to hear this. They basically cited Gibbs, and they largely said that you can decline jurisdiction over a state law claim if the state law claims are substantially predominating the lawsuit, the state law claim involves novel or complex legal issues, if the trial is likely to result in jury confusion. So they're basically saying that under Gibbs, they have discretion to say we don't want to hear the state law claims. Now, the Ninth Circuit says that you as a trial court, you as a federal trial court, don't really have the discretion to say that you're not going to hear a state law claim. They say that there might be a limited area where you would have discretion, and that would be under 1367C subsection 4, which says that in exceptional circumstances, if there are other compelling reasons for declining jurisdiction. Now, the court says you can decline underneath your own judgment as a trial court, but if you're going to do that, you really need to provide some compelling reasons. You need to provide a written statement of the compelling reasons for not hearing these state law claims. So the Ninth Circuit overrules the district court's denial of exercising jurisdiction over these state law claims and says the federal court can hear both the federal claims and the state law claims underneath supplemental jurisdiction. And they cite majorly to Congress's intent in enacting 1367 and how that codified the reasons why a federal court might not exercise jurisdiction over a state claim in supplemental jurisdiction. So it's a mouthful, it is a tough case, but if you just get the idea is largely that the court doesn't have full discretion to deny supplemental jurisdiction. The denial of supplemental jurisdiction has to be based on the statute 1367C, and you need to base your reasons for denying jurisdiction in one of those reasons that's provided there in the statute. So that's the case. It's kind of interesting to think about a split that might exist wherein courts, on the one hand, if courts are able to deny jurisdiction as they see fit, that could increase efficiency in the courts because you would keep a lot of state law claims out, right? If federal judges don't feel competent or confident in applying state law, or if they feel like it's going to confuse a jury, they could just keep those claims out and just exercise their discretion and preserve judicial resources. Now, on the other side, of that scale would be the argument that all plaintiffs should be treated equally. And I think that's a strong one. And I think that's why the Ninth Circuit ruled the way it did, is that this statute kind of ensures that all plaintiffs are treated equally. And if you're going to get a claim into federal court over supplemental jurisdiction, well, then you should be able to. And if the court is going to deny that based upon their own discretion, then those instances should be few and far between, to ensure that all plaintiffs that are filing lawsuits in federal courts and asserting state law claims are treated equally. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you have a nice rest of your day. Bye-bye.